Hello everybody, Cody's Gaming World here, and I know that this is not like my usual videos. I know I don't usually post videos on this channel, but that's going to change soon because, well, there was a time where I watched a few Lucky Star, the anime, episodes here on YouTube blindly, as in it was my first time watching it. I recorded my live reactions as I also recorded the show at the same time, so you could see exactly what I was reacting to. And even though I got third-party claims because of it, I didn't really finish it because I just couldn't find the time, and eventually my interest waned and I moved on to other stuff. But because of some requests from specific people, I will be bringing content back to this channel through the means of other things besides Let's Plays. And one of those things is related to watching animes again. And we're going to start with this video, Fullmetal Alchemist versus Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood anime debate. I've never seen Fullmetal Alchemist or Brotherhood, but I do want to watch it eventually, and I will be doing what I did with Lucky Star and giving my live reactions to the show and posting them in episodes as I watch them. I'm sorry, it's late, so I'm probably rambling, but the person that wanted me to do this was Dracona123 on YouTube. And now, without further ado, let's watch this, because he told me I should watch it before I watch the show.
Hi everyone, it's Chris, and welcome to another anime debate. This week we're going to debate Fullmetal Alchemist versus Fullmetal
Hey,
Alchemist
Chris.
Brotherhood. For the purposes of this video, however, we're going to call Fullmetal Alchemist, the original 2003 series, Fullmetal Alchemist, and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, just to make it simple. Alright, let's get right into it. So, Fullmetal Alchemist came out in 2003 around the same time as its manga, meaning the dreaded F word was going to have to come into play.
The F word? What's the F word? Can you get this player out of here? I don't want it.
F word being filler. We all
okay, that's what you meant.
Filler is where basically the people who make the anime write their own storyline that just deviates drastically normally from the plot of the original manga.
Yep.
But in this case,
money.
This filler is pretty awesome. Like, they did a really good job. They wrote a fleshed out story that was never boring and never felt like they were just wasting our time as they went along. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, I'm looking at you. Not saying you guys make horrible filler, but a lot of times you're just like, okay, alright, you don't have to scream
Never
for 20
seen them.
minutes. We get it. You're wasting time. Anyway, in the case of Fullmetal Alchemist, the storyline was good. Like, really freaking good. They brought in a new antagonist that made everything just a lot darker. Like, this show was pretty dark. It had its silly moments, but for the most part, it was pretty dramatic. And that's one thing over Brotherhood. This show is a lot more dramatic. It keeps you like, ooh, yeah, what's gonna happen next? Like, you just want to know. You have to freaking know, or your mind explodes. It's addictive in a way.
Are you taking a mugshot?
Explain that. Also, they took a lot more time to develop the parts of the manga that were adapted, because originally the series are kind of the same at first, then they deviate. Before they deviated though, Fullmetal Alchemist, the 2003 series, did a really good job of giving us a lot of details. Like, you really felt like you were there. They, however, gloss over the Ishbal and War, which we'll get into a little bit later. The homunculi, who are some of the big bads in this show, you feel a lot worse for them. They're a lot more sympathetic in this series. And therefore, when you see them battling, you have a lot of conflict. Yeah, some of them are really bad and nasty, but some of them just have a lot of depth to them that you don't get in Brotherhood. Like, in Brotherhood, they're just flat out evil, and you don't really get to see like how they feel about things. And I feel like in this series, they really just go in depth with that kind of feel. And lastly, the ending. I guess I should watch the original then. This one. Like, I remember watching this all the way through, being gripped the entire time I watched the show. Like, oh my gosh, the freaking edge of my seat of my pants. And then it ends, and I'm just like, ugh. That's it, huh? Okay. And then there's a movie that goes along with it. It kind of helps that out a little bit. But just this core series, it's not to say that it's bad. It's a really, really, really good show. But then we get Brotherhood. Let's move into that right now. So, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is a similar series. It starts out very much the same, but then it deviates and actually sticks to the plot of the manga, which is where things get crazy. You get a lot more detail of the Ishbal War and the military.
Right.
Like, you get to actually see what it's like to be a part of the military.
Post-filler.
Like, they don't just gloss over it. And I feel like
Because
too,
the manga
a lot
wasn't
of details that
with the
Fullmetal
original,
Alchemist really, really
so they
dug
just made it
into,
up.
they just kind of, we'll talk about it for a little bit and keep going. There's less detail there. I think in part they do that because they think you've already seen the first series and I want to waste your time. But I also think that they could have done a lot more to flesh things out so it didn't feel lazy. Because sometimes it just felt lazy. I'm sorry. It's still a really good show. I'm going to say this the entire video. These are both really, really, really good shows. Neither one of them is a bad choice. But if you have to put them head to head, there's going to be a definite winner. Let's get more into that. Because this one, Brotherhood, follows
Probably
more of the
Brotherhood.
manga. There's no filler. This is the way the mangaka expected it to go. This is the way the author really wanted to see this whole thing go down. I personally find the main antagonist of this show a lot more boring. Like, I feel like the motivation just isn't as strong. Like, it feels like it's just kind of one of those, like, ha ha ha, I am evil, ha ha ha, kind of things. Versus, like, them having some kind of tie to it. But, as the story comes along, it's a lot more compelling. It's a lot more gripping, and you just get way more invested. Like, the story brings you into everything almost all at once. And once you get there, there's no letting go. To compare this to the original series is not even remotely fair. The way they write these things, the way they pull them together is just simply, in a word, mesmerizing. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood also does a really good job of just making the characters feel more organic, feel more real. While there's less drama here, the time they do give you drama, it's really, really, really intense. And also, it's kind of impressive the fact that they're able to do this.
But is it intense?
With the fact that there are so many characters. There are a lot more characters in this one to focus on. Not to say that Ed and his brother are not the main focus, but they give you a lot more side players to play with who actually feel a lot more important than you originally think they would. Like, when people die in this thing, you actually feel bad that they died. I remember in the original series, some people would die.
People die?
And I'll give you one person who died. I won't tell you who it is, but one person died, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. I felt this way about almost every death in this series. Like, every time someone died in Brotherhood, I'm like, it's like the Tucker thing all over again, if you know about Tucker and Nina.
That was a weird cry.
And you haven't cried?
She died? I don't know who she is.
Brotherhood also tackles the Ishvalan War and the military to a much grander scope. I know I brought it up earlier, but I have to really focus on that because it makes you feel like you're a part of this huge conflict that didn't feel as big in the original series. Like, in this one, you're like, okay, they are really dogs in the military now. This is just not a saying. This is real. You actually feel it. And for me, feeling is like 95% of any anime or any series I watch. If I don't feel anything, then I'm not invested. If I'm not invested, I don't care. And this one makes you care. And of course, we're going to get to the ending.
I care.
Now, the ending of these two series is completely different. And the ending of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is
had a true ending.
vastly superior. And I'm not saying that just as an anime fan, I'm just saying that as a person who enjoys good endings. The freaking sequence where they're fighting is one of the most intense fighting sequences I've ever seen in my literal life. Trust me, if you watch nothing of this series,
literally,
watch the last ending sequence when they're fighting. It is so freaking good. The fact that there's a build-up that really gets you there and gets you really intense and gets you involved is the biggest part of this. That's why Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, in my opinion, is the superior series. While when they start out, they're very similar, and it feels like, just to me, possibly, that Fullmetal Alchemist, the 2003 series, is already better. Like, it feels like it's just, okay, you know what? They're doing a better job of really detailing this. As the journey goes along and gets more complex, you see the handling and the ability to write for multiple characters, multiple story settings, and multiple lines of people being handled in such a way that it is just masterful. When you see the way they put all these strings together, all these ties, and bring them into one big, grandiose point at the end, you have no choice but to bow down and say, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, take all of my money and all of my love. Now, that's not to say that the original Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 series is not very good. It is an extremely good series. It's one of the best series ever. But it is simply trumped by its brother. And that's just how it goes.
Hood.
So, which series do you think is more superior? Let's talk about it down below. Also, let me know what you want to see me debate next on Anime Debates. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just so you know, a thumbs up and a share
Do
will make
Barney.
this video.
Army, Barney and Elmo would be a good debate. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But thank you for showing me that, Chacona. Now I know that although both of them are good for different reasons, because Brotherhood stuck to the manga and had, more of a grip and, a better conclusion, I should watch Brotherhood when it comes time for me to watch this series on this channel. So look forward to officially Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood blind watch coming up soon. Thank you. And now let's let what's his name? Let's let Chris Sanders tell us why we should like, comment, subscribe, and share
So much
his video.
happier. I don't really care, but the video will be so freaking happy. It'll throw me a party and give me cake, and I'll be all like, "Thank you so much. Why'd you do that?" It'll be because I'm so happy because of all this attention I'm getting.
Okay. You get that attention. I'm gonna go upload this because I should have been asleep so long ago. What is this?
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Manly muscle overload. Oh, this is from the actual show. I don't want to see this spoilers. Okay. See ya.